You say, boss.
One day?
It's a cake.
Political donations, you name it.
Nada.
I want that you save us both some time and tell me.
The film opens with a poignant scene of a man composing a letter, his voice narrating its heartfelt contents. The narrative then shifts to the Philippines, where Ambassador Margalies, the U.S. ambassador, picks up his young son from elementary school just as an ice cream truck arrives. Excited, the boy urges his father to buy him ice cream. However, as they approach the truck, its driver, Abu Shabal, a notorious terrorist mastermind, suddenly departs. Moments later, the truck detonates in a catastrophic explosion, claiming the lives of the ambassador, his son, and many innocent children gathered nearby. Next, we meet Lieutenant Rourke and Chief Dave in a bar, where they watch news reports about the tragic incident. In a moment of personal significance, Lieutenant Rourke shares with Chief Dave that his wife, Jackie, is pregnant and invites him and their fellow comrades to join their families on an upcoming trip. Meanwhile, in Costa Rica, a man named Cristo arrives in a local community, where children eagerly flock to him, and a doctor observes with a smile. That night, the doctor, revealed to be CIA agent Lisa Morales, meets with her partner, Walter Ross. They discuss Cristo, a drug smuggler who paradoxically earns the community's loyalty by giving back. Agent Morales uncovers a potential connection between Cristo and Shabal, unaware that they are being watched and photographed by an unseen observer. The narrative then returns to Rourke and Dave on their family trip, with the narrator seemingly addressing a child about his relationship with his father. As Rourke and Dave interact with their families, the scene transitions back to Costa Rica. Agent Morales and Agent Ross engage in a game of Scrabble when a doorbell rings. Assuming it's the food she ordered, Agent Ross answers the door but is shot dead upon opening it. Two assailants burst in and overpower Agent Morales, capturing her despite her desperate attempts to fight back. The story then shifts back to the family trip, where the narrator introduces members of Rourke's platoon, Wyme, Ray, Sonny, AJ, Mickey, and Senior Chief Miller, who are all gathered around a bonfire with their families. Later, Rourke addresses his team, emphasizing the vital balance between their duties as soldiers and their roles as family men. As the trip concludes, they say goodbye to their loved ones and board a train. A tender farewell unfolds between Rourke and Jackie. She expresses her desire for him to be present for their child's birth, and he promises to do his utmost. As Rourke departs, Jackie is left in tears, closing the door behind him. In a tense moment, Agent Morales finds herself brutally beaten as a man contacts Cristo, demanding answers about her presence. Despite her desperate insistence that she is merely a doctor, she clings to her cover, but Cristo sees through her facade, fully aware of her true identity and affiliations. He coldly orders that she be kept alive until she reveals the information they seek. The scene shifts to Camp Witches Rock in Costa Rica, where soldiers gather to discuss the fates of Agents Morales and Ross. With urgency, they receive orders to rescue Morales. SEAL Team 7 swiftly mobilizes, stealthily infiltrating the enemy camp and holding their position overnight. Helicopters soon drop the extraction team into a nearby river, just as we glimpse the harrowing reality of Agent Morales being tortured. Her anguish screams compel the soldiers to act sooner than planned. Wyme, the team sniper, provides critical cover as Chief Dave and his team breach the warehouse where Morales is held captive. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Rourke stays with Wyme, using a drone to monitor the area. Tragedy strikes when Mikey is shot in the eye by an enemy combatant during their search for Morales. His comrades rush to his aid while engaging in fierce firefights. Outside, Wyme remains vigilant, picking off enemies attempting to breach their position. Chief Dave finally locates Agent Morales and confirms her identity, discovering a phone filled with vital intelligence regarding her investigation. With enemy reinforcements closing in, the soldiers hastily begin their retreat using a truck. As they drive, they tend to Mikey, who unexpectedly regains consciousness. Though he survives, he has lost one eye. The pursuit intensifies as enemies chase them down the road. In a dramatic moment, Wyme fires a rocket at their pursuers before they leap onto the back of a pickup truck, racing toward an alternate extraction point after missing the previous one. However, their truck crashes into the river amidst enemy fire. Just when all seems lost, the extraction team arrives just in time, providing cover as the soldiers make their escape. The narrative then transitions to Ukraine, where a man presents Shabal with a suicide bombing vest, boasting about its undetectable design, crafted from gel explosives encased in ceramic ball bearings. Shortly thereafter, Shabal meets Cristo, revealing their long-standing friendship since childhood. Christo expresses his intent to go into hiding, aware that the CIA is closing in on him. Shabal's anger boils over as he confronts Christo about their plans. Christo reassures him that the operation will proceed, not only with his direct involvement but also through a trusted subordinate. Meanwhile, along the Central American coast, Senior Chief Miller briefs Lieutenant Rourke and Chief Dave on the intelligence gathered from the phone recovered during Agent Morales' rescue. He reveals the connection between Shabal and Christo, emphasizing that Shabal is driven not by drugs or money but by a desire for chaos. Senior Chief Miller then outlines a strategic plan to thwart Shabal's ambitions. Ray and AJ will head to Africa to gather intelligence, as Shabal is expected to be there for a weapons transfer before moving operations to Mexico. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Rourke, Chief Dave, and the rest of their platoon will remain stateside, ready to respond swiftly to any threats that may arise near American soil. In a decisive move, Senior Chief Miller will lead SEAL Team 4 in an operation to capture Christo. As the briefing concludes, Chief Dave prepares to inform their team when Lieutenant Rourke halts him, presenting a death letter intended for Jackie in the event of his demise. Chief Dave confides that he had considered requesting command to send Rourke home to spend time with his wife, but ultimately recognizes the critical need for his skills on this mission. The scene shifts to AJ and Ray boarding a submarine, where they receive a detailed briefing on their assignment. Shortly thereafter, they find themselves in Somalia, observing Shabal and his associates transferring crates between planes. To their confusion, they also spot 16 Filipinos accompanying Shabal. Meanwhile, on a yacht, Christo is taken by surprise when soldiers launch an attack, surrounding him. Senior Chief Miller soon arrives, introducing himself and initiating a conversation about Shabal. Although Christo does not align with Shabal's ideology, he remains loyal to his friend and his objectives. He employs the metaphor of a pendulum to illustrate their relationship. Shabal and Christo represent the two ends, while Americans are caught in the middle as the pendulum swings. This analogy infuriates Senior Officer Miller, who perceives Christo's perspective as trivializing a serious situation. To compel Christo's cooperation, Miller reveals a video of Christo with his child, leveraging familial ties as a bargaining chip. Under pressure, Christo discloses critical information about Shabal's plans involving ceramic ball bearings, warning that Shabal aims to unleash devastation on America far worse than the 9/11 attacks using 16 suicide bombers strategically positioned across various cities. The scene transitions to Cedros Island in Mexico, where Lieutenant Rourke and his platoon stealthily infiltrate a town, preparing for the next phase of their mission. In a tense scene, we witness a man crafting a suicide vest using ceramic ball bearings. Meanwhile, soldiers stealthily infiltrate nearby houses. However, when they spot an armed man, they open fire, inadvertently alerting other terrorists in the vicinity and igniting a fierce shootout. Two terrorists attempt to flee in a pickup truck but are quickly spotted by Wyme, who is observing from a helicopter. As they fire a rocket at him, it misses its target, allowing Wyme to neutralize them instead. Simultaneously, Lieutenant Rourke and Chief Dave approach the house of the man constructing the suicide vest. Unbeknownst to them, he is prepared for their arrival, armed with a rocket launcher. As they enter, he fires at them. Fortunately, Chief Dave escapes unharmed while Lieutenant Rourke takes the brunt of the blast, which propels him away but does not detonate or penetrate his body due to the short distance. Chief Dave quickly retaliates, shooting the man down and rushing to assist his injured friend. Together, they discover the ominous suicide vest. The narrative shifts to Shabal, who is briefing a group of Filipino jihadists on their next move. Back with Rourke, he receives an urgent report from base command. Their mission is far from over as half of the jihadists have escaped and are planning to cross the border using a network of tunnels. They are instructed to collaborate with the Mexican Special Operations Forces, SOF, commander to thwart Shabal's plans. As Shabal and the remaining 8 jihadists reach a milk factory, Rourke meets with the Mexican SOF commander to share intelligence about the terrorists' escape route. The commander quickly identifies the location but warns Rourke that it falls under cartel jurisdiction, indicating that they should brace themselves for an even larger confrontation. The scene transitions to the soldiers moving through the town in trucks. Inside the factory, Shabal and his group receive instructions from a leader on their next steps. Outside, cartel members spot the soldiers and open fire, but the soldiers manage to breach the milk factory. Hearing the gunfire, the leader hastily directs Shabal and the jihadists toward the tunnel for their escape. Meanwhile, outside, the soldiers engage in fierce combat. Lieutenant Rourke orders Wyme to secure the entrance as they make their way into the factory. Inside, Shabal instructs one of the Filipino jihadists to stay behind and detonate the suicide vest in an effort to thwart the advancing soldiers. In a moment of fear, Shabal reassures a woman that she will soon be reunited with her husband in the afterlife. 2 soldiers cautiously enter the room where a jihadist waits, her face streaked with tears. In a moment of desperation, she presses the detonator on her suicide vest, triggering a devastating explosion. Miraculously, the two soldiers manage to escape just in time. The blast sets off a chain reaction, igniting another vest worn by a nearby man and causing yet another explosion. Regaining their composure, the soldiers regroup and resume their urgent search for Shabal and the remaining jihadists. Suddenly, an enemy combatant drops a hand grenade among them. Lieutenant Rourke is the first to notice the imminent danger. With no time to waste, he shouts a warning to his comrades and bravely leaps onto the grenade, sacrificing himself to protect his fellow soldiers. Chief Dave turns back in shock, horrified to see his friend lying in a pool of blood. He rushes to Rourke's side, but Sonny urges him to continue the fight, promising to stay with the lieutenant in his final moments. Meanwhile, Shabal and the jihadists reach the entrance of a tunnel when their leader pauses to provide cover. Just as they prepare to enter, Chief Dave and another soldier appear and open fire. They manage to take down one of the jihadists, but in the fray, Shabal shoots Chief Dave multiple times. As Dave loses consciousness, Shabal prepares to deliver the fatal blow when Sonny arrives just in time, gunning down Shabal and neutralizing the threat. Sonny quickly reports back to base, confirming that the tunnel is secure and all immediate threats have been eliminated. However, he also delivers the grim news that both Chief Dave and Lieutenant Rourke are down. The scene shifts from Rourke's face to his solemn burial, where he is honored with a military funeral. Chief Dave, though injured and now in a wheelchair, pays his respects as Jackie receives the American flag in honor of her late husband's service. She also receives the old American flag that Lieutenant Rourke carried on every mission, one that belonged to his father. As Rourke's coffin is lowered into the ground, his platoon places their special warfare insignia, known as the Seal Trident, atop it as a final tribute to their fallen leader. The narrative reveals that Chief Dave is the storyteller, reading a heartfelt letter addressed to Lieutenant Rourke's son. Jackie listens intently, tears streaming down her face as she holds her child's hand. She finds comfort in a passage from the letter that echoes Rourke's favorite poem. After finishing the letter, she gently lays it atop Rourke's father's flag. The film concludes with a poignant dedication to all warriors of naval special warfare who have made the ultimate sacrifice since 9/11, honoring their bravery and commitment. Thank you for watching. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.